It's Monday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Murayo Afolabi Brown. As always, I have the ladies with me. Elijah, Nima, Kashat, Zibri, how are you doing today?
I'm very grateful that I made it to this morning because I had to resume full housewife work.
Oh, wow.
Help me, I've run away.
Are you for real?
Oh. Said that she had the headache and then she accelerated. So I'm now on admission. I don't know which one to believe. But then she showed up yesterday morning just to, I said, well, please just go. I used to do this thing myself before me. I switched on to my mode and school is resuming this morning. My darling Oyinlola has gone to school herself. And so I don't have someone to fall back on. And in the rush, I left my hijab at home. I left my ring at home. I left a lot of things. But I focused on my son so that he will have all these things together. So we'll get used to it. It's a new term. Yeah. We are going to
get somebody else also.
Yes, I'm working on that.
How are you doing, lady in red?
I'm okay. We thank God for life. It was a cool weekend, getting ready to send the kids back to school. So they went back to school yesterday. We had to go drop them off where the bus took them to school. It was easier for us than driving all the way down to the area for their school. And the house is screaming, empty, empty, empty. Our guys looking at me.
Christmas, where you had
I'm telling you, your guys looking at me like, are you sure? Are you sure we should not add one more? We need the house to bubble. These ones are growing. Very soon they will leave us. I said, brother, we started together, we end together. So start getting used to it now. I'm going to make friends. Go and make friends. Don't come and stress me. You know, but today is our Gratitude Challenge Day. Gratitude Day 8. And today I'm grateful for my in-laws, for all their love, for taking me as their daughter, for making it easy for me in marriage. I'm really grateful to them. Yeah.
You're blessed.
Sort of that gratitude today. I was just grateful for my partner. That law firm is the backbone of that law firm. So we do a lot of fighting, but I'm grateful. Yeah. An amazing individual.
He's there to hold the fort for you.
We fight a lot too, but
it's normal.
Okay. This Saturday, I just said nothing was going to take me out of my room. Like I just on my bed. I was on my bed.
Did you sleep?
I slept, but I was just resting. You know, my own form of relaxation is watching movies and
my voice cleared.
And having some, my voice finally cleared. I bought plenty plantain chips.
While you were watching the movie.
Oh my Lord, I really rested on Saturday. I needed that rest.
Yeah.
So
I saw the Black Book this weekend.
Finally.
Oh God, that movie.
RMD.
Oh, that movie.
Good movie.
I watched it with my kids. They said, Mommy, are you sure this is a Nigerian movie? Is this a Nigerian movie? I said, yes, so Nollywood, we are going there. Oh, God.
Nollywood is really taking over.
No. God
and
bless
Funke Akindele, over $1 billion naira.
Jesus.
That's worth celebrating. And even the three ladies, I mean, all of them. And I think many people they fed off each energy of each other. You know, although, yes, Funke Akindele got obviously the most feedback and revenue from her movie.
Yeah.
Congratulations to her, especially.
She's a trailblazer.
Daddy was also good. Malaika was also good. And everybody's watching those movies together. Well, with three powerful women. I mean, amazing work you guys did.
God bless your work.
That was the movie. Those are the movies
for the season.
And congratulations to all the Nollywood and all the work that these women are putting into it. Congratulations to you. Let's go on a short break. When we return and look at the front pages of the paper. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Okay, we're going to start with the nation. 21 governorship appeals for hearing at Supreme Court this week. Foreign investors double take stakes in Nigerian market. Police target 59 billion naira from vehicle registration. State, federal government on collision course over shareholding in oil firms. President orders probe of alleged 545 million naira fraud in the ministry, Humanitarian Affairs Ministry. EFCC didn't take any document away from our office, says Dangote. Supreme Court, waterways belong to federal government. And Tinubu approves 12 billion naira outstanding payments to Super Eagles and others. Okay.
The Supreme Court, they've held that the control of activities on the nation's inland waterways, including levying and licensing of operators, belongs solely to the federal government. The Apex Court, in a judgment held on Friday, said it was wrong for states to seek to control the sector and imposed levies on businesses operating in the nation's inland waterways. They also held that the laws give exclusive control of such activities to the federal government through its agencies, the National Inland Waterways Authority, that's NIWA, and the Nigerian Maritime Standard and Safety Agency, NMASA, something. And no other tie of government has that control. They said that the case was appealed or filed in 2018 and by the Minister of Mines and Steel Development and the Minister of Transport as well. And the respondents to the case were the Lagos State Waterways, the State Commissioner for Waterfront Infrastructure Development, the State Attorney General, Governor of Lagos State, the Incorporated Trustees of Association of Tourist Boat Operators and Water Transportation of Nigeria, and the Incorporated Trustees of Dredgers Association of Nigeria. And, you know, at the end of the day, they are saying that the only agency saddled with the responsibility to levy, impose, and charge rates utilization along the waterways is just the NIWA and the other one from the federal government. I knew this as a political science student, that the federal government owned the waters. So I didn't understand when I saw this that Lagos State had already filed an appeal on that because they wanted some sort of control.
So the judge in Zobita was really appalled by the suit itself. He says that this, when politicians play around with words like resource control and all of that, when they know what they need to do. So we have lawmaking bodies who know how to amend the constitution, remove this from an exclusive item into the concurrent item. But rather than do the work, you're in court, asking the court to amend the constitution, which is not possible. Their job is to interpret what is already existing as law.
The law.
So why are you...
All right, so the major headlines. So this week, the Supreme Court is expected to make its hearing on the 21 cases arising from the March 18, 2023 governorship elections. In a schedule this week, they'll be hearing giving their ruling on the cases on Ebonyi, Plateau, Delta, Adamawa, Abia, Ogun, Cross River, Akwa Ibom, Lagos, Osun State, and many others. According to the court schedule, this week they're going to be ruling on, specifically tomorrow, the Apex Court will hear 6 appeals, 3 on the Plateau State filed by PDP, and others filed by the APC, others by APGA, from other states. On Wednesday, the court listed for 4 appeals, and I think on Thursday we'll be hearing specifically from Ogun State and Osun State, because those are the states that many of us are really concerned about. And I think by Friday we'll hear about Lagos State, so just to get the ruling. So by this end of this week, hopefully, we'll rest all the issues concerning governorship elections once and for all.
I have the Dangote story. The management of Dangote Group says, according to them, they said they have clarified that the EFCC did not come to their office to raid and take away documents. They said they had been notified December 6th to clear details around their forex that they had gotten. And they said that, and it was not specific to the Dangote Group, this request for the details of the forex exchange allocated to them from 2014 to present was done to them and 51 other companies. And they also tried to respond. They had asked for an extension of time, which the EFCC did not honor. And while they took the documents, they said they compiled the documents and took to the EFCC themselves, but the EFCC rejected it initially, left while they were there, and went on that raid, which was, according to them, done staged to embarrass them as an entity. They went on to say that they are the highest employers in the private sector. They have a large contribution to the GDP of the nation. But I would love that all these sentiments are put aside and every beneficiary of how the forex was handled that brought us here to how the Naira is badly, placed by the side of the dollar must be investigated. The EFCC should do their job without any eye. They should not look at face.
So, says Elijah Nima.
Yes, that's my personal opinion. Nigerians suffer hardly, really. We're buying fuel at this cost now because of dollar exchange. Private marketers are complaining dollar. So we must do things.
Moving on now to the Punch. Better Edu Tinubu vows sanctions as anger grows over the 585 million Naira scandal. Lawmakers budget fresh 30 billion Naira for National Assembly renovation. Army redeploys 206 generals, cancels 120 postings. Mumzi, Nigeria's luckiest woman, gifted land for 4:30 a.m. cooking. Airlines get $62 million as CBN repays banks $2 billion debt. Quadruplet mom leaves hospital after Tompolo's firm pays 4 million naira bill. Manufacturers may sack workers as Naira loses 39%. And schools resume today after Christmas holidays. Okay, which story?
Okay, let me quickly just a good news story. YK had taken the story of the woman who had quadruplets and was still stranded in a private hospital. She had read out the name on the show last week. And hopefully, maybe because of watching our show, Tantita Security Services Limited, you know, the one that is owned by Tompolo, Chief Government Tompolo, cleared the 4 million naira debt the woman is owing, and they freed her from the hospital's whatever. I don't want to call it detention. But Mrs. Gladys Omadiagbe and her babies are now at home and free. Say thank you to Tantita as well.
Yeah. Do we have time to take one more story?
Yes, please.
Yes, so the Nigerian Army has approved the posting and redeployment of about 975 officers. The exercise affected 206 generals, 64 colonels, 302 lieutenant colonels, 139 majors, and 122 captains, among others. A circular signed by Major General E.F. Unyola, which was dated January 4th, 2024, said that the appointment and redeployment of the officers will be taking effect from today. That's Monday. And according to the circular, the authorization for the amendment and deletion of a total of 120 officers was also given. Now, the affected officers, I've mentioned how many they are: 6 colonels, 26 lieutenant colonels, 33 majors, 26 captains, and 29 lieutenants. And they had not said the reason for the redeployments. But, you know, the Major General said, or he was threatening to sanction officers who refused to resume at their new offices, and is advising commanders to ensure the release of the affected officers, that if they don't allow them to resume, they will bear the responsibilities of the officers' failure to resume to their duty posts. So he's waiting to see that everybody resumes at the post that they have been assigned. Maybe if more details come out, we can find out why they had to redeploy a lot of them. I know redeploying officers is not easy. They have to consider their families, you know, where they are used to, other commitments as well.
So lawmakers have budgeted an additional 30 billion naira in the renovation of the National Assembly complex in the 2024 appropriation bill. The 30 billion earmarked for the renovation of the building is part of the 344 billion naira budgeted for National Assembly after they raised the allocations from 197 billion. I attended the National Assembly recently, and the building looked perfectly in perfect shape.
In order.
I went to go see.
It's inside.
So maybe it's inside where I can.
Inside.
Everything I was seeing from outside, inside, I entered to go.
Is that money not too much to
30 billion, I don't know what that place looks like. Anyway, the additional 30 billion brings to 60 billion the amount being spent on renovations of the National Assembly complex. I really need a breakdown of what is being renovated.
Yeah.
Because when I entered that place, it was such an awesome building. I was proud as a Nigerian. Wow, this is where our law is being. This is where lawmakers.
Even be more expensive to maintain.
The maintenance is a different thing, but renovating what
means
exactly?
some parts are dilapidated.
I didn't
need to revamp it.
I didn't see the
They not go burn that side.
English.
Anyways, no problem.
They don't go and catch fire on that side.
Let us go on a short break. When we come back, we continue with our front page review. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Okay, moving on now to Daily Sun. Alleged funds diversion. FG probes Beta Edu. How Kano can be speedily released, says Deputy Speaker. Naira scarcity persists. Inflation soars. Supreme Court affirms FG's exclusive control of inland waterways. Forex probe EFCC's raid designed to cause unwarranted embarrassment, says Dangote. Anyako, FG must stop killings. 5 die in Anambra, both mishap, 30 rescued. An NDLEA nabs female bandit supplier with cache of ammunition, 11 others, over 3 tons of illicit drugs. Okay, which story?
Okay, so Naira scarcity persists. According to the Sun, the CBN has not been able to change the situation of this Naira scarcity as promised. They said that they've gone around and the situation is still as bad as it was. They said they visited some banks after the new year, and paying 5,000 across the counter is still the norm, where banks are not having enough cash to pay what customers want. They said improvement over the 2,000 that was being paid in 2023 is what they have seen. So that 5,000 is a plus. But I have a different experience. So I have relatives who also traveled up north to Jos and then to Lokoja during the Christmas and New Year celebration. They arrived yesterday and there was no naira scarcity up north.
Wow.
According to my relative. Said they were able to withdraw in the banks, were able to withdraw at the ATMs, and even the POS were withdrawing huge amounts at 100 naira. There was no. So I think population and the rush in Abuja and Lagos
may also
might
affect
be
it.
the situation. But I hope that the CBN is truly doing more than the son is saying.
Yeah. So there was tragedy at the early hours of yesterday. They said about 5 people lost their lives while 30 others were rescued in a boat mishap in River Niger, Anambra State. The victims allegedly were, sailing to Kogi State through Anambra, on the River Niger when that accident happened. And according to the story, they said they were on a business trip to the commercial city of Onitsha. And the victims were mainly women and children, and they said made their rescue harder. But they were not able to identify the deceased as at the time that this report was made. And they said they had come from a riverine part of Kogi State. They were traveling to Onitsha for various businesses when it happened. So, the states, they said some of the victims are from parts of Kogi State and Miata Anam in Anambra State. And the police had, received the news, and operatives, rushed to the spots, and they were able to rescue 30 people alive. The police public relations officer was the one who said this, and he assured them that everything was under control, but though they had lost a few people. So it's just one year.
Operatives of the NDLEA have arrested a 28-year-old female bandit supplier, Bilikisu Suleiman, in possession of 249 rounds of 7.62 millimeter live ammunition concealed in a black nylon bag along the Zaria-Kano Expressway. The agency said she was on her way to deliver the ammunition to an identified bandit in Kakumi village, Katsina State, when she was arrested. NDLA operatives at the Murtala Mohammed Ikeja also yesterday intercepted a consignment of Colorado. Here, not far away. Here, Colorado, a very strong strain of cannabis concealed in boxing kits imported from the United States of America. The director of media, that's Mr. Babafemi of NDLEA, disclosed that a week-long intelligence-led operation to get the receiver arrested was consummated last Saturday following the successful tackling and arrest of the 38-year-old Olorunfunmi Said Olakunle, who distributes the dangerous psychoactive substance to dealers across Lagos State.
Jesus, we know they try you.
Okay, should we move on to another story? Yes, moving on to Vanguard. Find a story. Supreme Court grants FG exclusive control of all inland waterways. Nigeria's money in wrong hands, says Adeboye. I was in church. That's not how he said it. EFCC's visit, Dangote explains, assures stakeholders. UI, Unilorin Covenant University, say no fake professors on their payroll. Tackle increasing cases of killings and Yako task federal government. Humanitarian Ministry, Tinubu orders probe into alleged diversion of 585 million naira into private accounts. Okay, which story are we taking?
Okay, so the fake professors news broke over the weekend, and it listed not just small schools. In fact, when I saw the news, I was like, it has to be private universities, but we had major federal universities on this list. But the universities are coming out one by one to debunk. UI, for instance, I think they had about 9 professors on the list, are saying that this news, according to the Deputy Executive Secretary in charge of Academics Directorate, Dr. Noel Abiodun, said it can only be mischief. It is unfounded. It cannot be. And, the university also, in a statement by their registrar and secretary, said the names on the list were not bona fide members of the institution. They were also fake names. University of Ilorin, their Director of Corporate Affairs, Mr. Kunle Akogun, also said that the attention was brought to this fake list and that the NUC has disassociated itself from the list that surfaced itself in the first of such lists that surfaced in 2019, and they deem it expedient to categorically disown the 11 so-called professors listed against the universities. So they are questioning the names in that list. But this a reputable publication, media house, released this news over the weekend, and so I'm worried that such reputable people
are they questioning or are they planning to prove that these people are actually legit?
They are debunking, even Covenant, they are debunking, calling it categorically fake. For Unilorin, they said they don't know those lecturers whose names were on that list. The same thing, UI says it's mischievous, and Covenant will has something like that to say.
All right, so we'll see. All right, so I was in church on Sunday and Pastor E.A. Adeboye was admonishing the members in church. The theme for last Sunday was supernatural enlargement at the RCCG headquarters in Ebutimeta, and he said specifically, don't let anybody tell you money is not in this country, just that it is in the wrong hands. This year, wealth will change hands. Wind is going to blow on the naira. That's how he said. Not that he just said that.
Some people are hiding money.
Because the way he misconstrued it, people will think that...
When I saw it, I was wondering, some people are hiding.
So those are his exact words.
I believe it, because the CBN was able to pay $65 million out of the money we are owing airline. All the people that owe the money since, it's not in the wrong hands.
Please, I have a story.
Vanguard, go ahead.
Yes, so Commonwealth Secretary General Emeka Anyoko has called on the federal government to strengthen efforts at tackling increasing case of killings and insecurity across the country. He made the call yesterday at the 2024 Summit and Award Ceremony of the Old Boys Association of Merchants of Light School, Oba, in Idemili South local government area of Anambra State. And he said the ugly trend of killings has continued without stopping because of lack of interest and subsequent prosecution of the people who are involved in this act. And the federal government should devote efforts to finding those who are responsible for these killings, and not only to find them, but also charge them accordingly. And he also advised that the government deploy its agencies and forces to apprehend those perpetrating the killings. And that's the only way that we can address the issue of insecurity. And he went further to also talk about the 20% budget allocation to education that has been advised by UNESCO, saying that government needs to work hard to ensure that the budget close to 26% allocation to education. And that's the only way we can see growth in our educational system. Then he talked about how alumni of different universities can have funds where they are supporting the different schools. That if you travel all over the world, we always have people who have graduated from the schools who have like a pool of funds to do things for the universities, for the schools, just to also assist governments in making sure that everybody has access to quality education. Yeah.
Okay, final paper, the Nigerian Tribune, Beta Edu, Tinubu directs probe. Supreme Court grants NIWA exclusive rights to control Nigeria's inland waterways. Forex probe EFCC didn't take any documents from our office, says Dangote. NDLA intercepts Colo's consignment in Colorado consignment in boxing kit in New Year Day. Emefiele banks to face probe over Forex deals. Free train ride, passengers lament NRC speaks. CBN disburses additional $61.4 million Forex backlog to foreign airlines. Nigeria boosts OPEC's December crude by extra 60,000 barrels per day. And fury over federal government's grains palliatives. FGGF, PDP, GF will support Tinubu in 2027, says Otom. Interesting. Okay, which story?
So I have the NRC story. Sadly, the free train that ended yesterday was not properly handled. It was not properly managed. So Nigerians were lamenting watching empty train coaches go and come back because they could not book online. The NRC NRC director, the managing director of the Nigerian Railway Corporation, insisted that to clean it up, they insisted on Nigerians booking their tickets online. Only for them to find Nigerians overbooking
Then
tickets online with the intent to resell.
Yeah.
So he says, when he says insiders collaborated with it, he meant insiders. So some staff of the NRC as well and the other Nigerians decided to mop up all the tickets with the intention of reselling when the government had a clear plan of selling. So by morning, they refused to sell at the train station to avoid chaos. And so Nigerians will come, they can't buy online, they can't buy at the train station, watch the coach go empty and come back empty.
That's
wasting fuel now.
Wickedness.
But what did you expect?
Like this?
In fact, when I was reading the story, I was livid with NRC with the user's account, passenger's account. But when I got to NRC's explanation, what did I do?
Because we can't let them just come in, show up, and go. Because that way, you need to properly book. It's always important for you to book so that at least you
But
can
for our
reserve.
auditing, there has to be ticket that must be booked.
Yes.
And so if one person booked like 25 family members with the intention to resell, will you allow him take advantage of that? He won't be
But
able
are we even ripe to have a lot of people book online? Are we ripe for that?
Well, you see, those who are going to be traveling, really, because that's what we thought, are we right for online banking? Many people are already doing online banking.
I
so
know.
We need to actually get
Sometimes the
family
people
members.
you want to reach may not even have access, and that's why
You'll be surprised.
No.
use...
If the greedy ones didn't overbuy,
They want to go America. That person that is uneducated, they're talking
Somebody
about.
will help them
Somebody,
do that.
exactly. So when you want to travel, either uncle and auntie will help you book and to send grandma to the train station.
should we be using biodata to book tickets?
But can they investigate those people that bought more than
Somebody
one
said she
ticket
wanted
to
book.
resell?
They said overbooked. She tried the next day, overbooked. Her intention was to go to Oyotina.
Yes,
Overbooked.
oh, my brother had exactly the same problem. I think we have run out of time, but that's Nigeria. We the people, I
We
keep
keep
saying
sabotaging ourselves.
Simple.
You
I
know,
think that
get
leaders
that,
will,
but
leaders will fly
they
from.
should also cancel those already booked tickets. They should not be able to use them.
People who booked those
But
tickets.
has defeated the purpose. My
Yes,
grandma that wanted
it
to
has.
travel cannot travel.
Cannot travel,
Regardless
yeah.
of. So the point is that we are still we the people.
Yes, but for it not to happen again, those people need to be punished.
For consequence. So
For consequences.
that ticket should be cancelled.
So we sack
useless.
so,
And they will
sack.
think-
Wait. This is not Nigeria. We'll sack these ones, Abi.
Jail them.
Wait.
Sack and go home.
Problem. We'll bring another batch of same Nigerians, not Indians though. Same Nigerians. You think the same thing will happen?
No.
no,
When you
Mario.
sack them
I'm not
and
talking
you
about
jail
sacking.
them, and people see
Saturday.
that they are reaping the consequences of their actions, if you go there,
So
even you
tickets
will ask yourself,
between
do I want to
the
go
6th of
get into
December,
this?
to 5th of December till date, all those tickets will cancelled. Let the money waste so that the person will learn.
If Nigerians don't decide to fix this country, we ain't going nowhere.
Abi, God
Let's
don't-
go on a break. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So over the weekend, the story of a woman known as Deborah Beecee went viral on Twitter. The app formerly known as Twitter. She replied to a tweet from another lady who said that there's a lady who wakes up at 5 a.m. or 4:50 a.m. to make her husband lunch for work. To which Deborah replied, I have always been too lazy to wake up, and he told me a colleague brought 2 spoons so that he will eat with her. That was the day that I set my alarm for 4:50 a.m. That singular reply took a surprising turn as people took it upon themselves to gift her loads of cash. People are willingly donating home materials. They gave her land. Her husband even got a job offer. Someone was even willing to gift a car. This action has shown how powerful social media is. What are your thoughts on this? Because she got a land, she got 2 million. I think right now it's hit 5 million naira. She's gotten phones, she got laptop with a full year internet access. She's gotten quite a bit of things just because she said she's waking up 4:50 a.m. to make food for her husband, whose colleague is bringing 2 spoons for their own food. Okay, you can call 081 076 41679, 090 241 6344. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTV, so can read the tweet. Okay. I don't even know. I wanted to start, but let me let you start, Nima.
Okay, I just wanted to set some things, added some information.
Please.
To it. So I followed this trend. I started when I saw tools pounding yam with wig.
Yeah.
And doing like this. I was like, which kind of play is this? So I went on X as usual, and the trend was already up. So I followed the story to the very beginning. What she did was, just tweet that, Santa, what you want for Christmas and all of that. And she said, if I could only just get this small fridge, because since my husband brought this story of a colleague feeding him with an extra spoon in the office, I've decided that let me be making the food, but it's a lot of work because I don't have a fridge. If I can just get... And what she posted was an innocent small bedside fridge, the type I want to put in the office, not even the size I have at home. And I saw that Nigerians went on her replies and attacked her. They're telling me you're cooking for a full add-on. Oh, you are insecure. They will take your husband away. That's why you're cooking. People attacked her. Oh, and so some people who've believed in the home value, homemaking value, thought if we don't restore dignity in being a wife who takes care of family, this tradition will just die. And that was what woke Nigerians up. And that's when the gifting started. Okay. So I think humanity and empathy rose up for it's her time. We all do these things. I have always been talking about how 4:30 a.m. we're all of that. But it was her time. And some people need to put respect back in it. Not every woman that does it that you go and attack, but the attack was what blessed her. Yeah. The toxicity that people used to respond, some feminists coming there telling her she needed, it was from...
Let me before I come to Beecee, when I read the story, I didn't realize how feminist I was until I found the story sickening a bit, And it wasn't because of what you just said, which is a good thing that you're showing service to one you have chosen to love and serve, which is fine. But I think I can also understand where the feminists are coming from, because it somewhat diminishes the efforts they've been making for emancipation for many years. For example, and I like you, that's like you as a professional, I'll let you come in a minute, because the perspective is we are here having sleepless nights, going to National Assembly, we're here fighting for women to have some kind of just using your word, borrowing your word, dignity in who their womanhood. And here you are, working somewhat against that plan. So that's where feminists were getting upset that why would you do such a thing for a grown man just because you are insecure that a colleague might be appealing to him in the office. That in itself was a blow to the feminist campaign for decades, not just within Nigeria, but across the world. And listen, we are trying to get women some kind of dignity in who they are first, not just to be a service to a man. So I guess that's where the confusion came. But let me let you jump in here, Beecee, because I know that you see from all sides.
Yeah, I'll respond to the feminists in a bit, but for me, that's misplaced priority. They need to go and redesign what they mean by that, but I'll handle that in a bit, and if I forget, please remind me. But when I saw the story, I looked at my husband. I said, I'm beefing this woman.
Exactly.
Do you know how many years I was waking up 4 a.m. to cook for you? He was laughing. He said it's her time to be blessed. It had nothing to do with her cooking. It had nothing to do with her posting. It was just her time to be blessed. So something needed to happen for her to get her blessing. Exactly. Forget about it. I said, hey, social media did me dirty. I used to cook from Ogba. I'll take it to, he was working in First Bank at the time, Ackman Road. I would drop his food and then head to my office in Allen every day. When we moved back to Alagbado, I wake up 4 a.m. Till today, he carries food to work. But now I've relaxed. So we make the provisions and then the helps sort it out. And he does not eat out. He carries food to work. I started it by waking up 4 a.m. I was vexing. I said, why didn't they come and dash me money? He said, Madam, go and sit down. It was just her time to be blessed. So that is someone who is just loving her spouse. And there's nothing wrong in that. I used to use myself as an example. I have dominant masculine energy when I'm outside, when I'm doing my business, when I'm talking on the show, my voice is strong and everything, in handling things and doing my job and all of that, masculine energy. But when I get into the house, I become a nurturer. I make his food. I pack his food. I massage his leg. It doesn't take away from my strength. I wanted to redirect the feminist issues. When you make it about a woman emancipating herself from her home, she has a role in the home. So she should play that role in the home. The only problem is when I get into the office and I am required to do certain jobs and get certain pay, you must not cheat me when a man is involved. You pay us equally. If we're on the same level, if we're doing the same kind of work, we're getting the same kind of results, we are equal in the workplace. In the home, we are not equal. I have a head over me, and I can pamper him. There's nothing wrong in that. It doesn't make me less confident, or it doesn't make it that I do not have self-esteem. So they should separate it and stop deceiving people.
Okay.
Because what I see is we want to be feminists, we want to be in charge everywhere, and then we do not understand our roles as wives. We have roles as wives, we have roles as mothers. If you don't want to marry, please stay single.
Okay, but I get that. But you see, because we're living in a global village, and these same women relocate to Canada, relocate to the US, and then these same men, with this, their masculinity, demand that you wake up at 4:30 a.m. or 5 whatever to cook for me because, hey, we're in America, but yet you're still my wife, you're still my helpmate. Your job is to be the nurturer. So what exactly do we want? Do we want a man who has that, who has the worldview of, listen, we are both partners here where we can both nurture together, where we are equal partners, where especially when we're all jackpotting today. Now, in Nigeria, it's a bit easier for you to do kind of thing because, you know, this is the culture, this is the system. But these same men relocate, and we still have a problem with this. Why do we have a problem with it when they travel abroad and then have a problem with it in
the
Nigeria?
rules are different.
Thank
but
you.
also, I don't call it roles. I see family.
Did you say rule or role?
Roles.
Okay, the roles are different.
I see family as a joint venture where everybody has to do their part.
Okay.
As our kids are growing up. The other day, Miriam was talking about how the kids had to step in when the maids left.
Yeah.
I miss my daughter just dropping out of school. I say, reality have done on me. Because as she's going, the other one, I'm still coaching. He doesn't know what to do.
Say, baby.
Everybody is pulling their weight. When the feminist conversation starts, we don't talk about the roles or the contribution of every member of the family and how it balances the home. We remove that balance and talk about emancipation. What I would never allow, I always say to my husband as well, you see the conversation of, you owe me this duty, I pay your bride price like a slave. That I can understand if a feminist is coming from that point of view and trying to tell the woman, have some dignity. But the roles that she has to play, the contribution she has to bring into her home to make it a home, it's not a conversation for any group to design.
At all.
This woman did not say her husband compelled her to cook.
She chose to.
She said she heard him. I would do that. Not from the place of somebody want to collect him.
They're
No,
not
from even putting back his own dignity in him.
Yeah.
I would hate for my husband to sit in the
Why is
office
he even carrying
hungry and look at somebody's food flags enough to share a spoon. I would hate it as a woman.
Sophia.
For me, it goes to the core of my home.
Yes,
Certain things that my husband would be like, oh, no, there's nothing there. I was like, Don't they bring the dirty come near house? Some kind of thing. That person might just be nice. But before you know it, not long before maybe they start eating and they never really share any
gossip.
Emotional and gossip brings that. This one, no, they ever bring food.
Exactly. And you
You
can finish the
understand?
fish
So
when you're on
a
top.
woman's duty, the way you would do to instill that dignity in your child, is the way you
Nima, I'm confused. Let me tell you why I'm
do it in
confused.
your husband.
Let me tell you why I'm confused. Because on this table, it's like we always pick the days to be feminist and the days not to be feminist.
don't follow now for
Because
feminist.
the truth
I
is,
like man.
I know. So feminists don't say they don't like men. Let me correct that. Feminists don't say they don't like men. They love men. But they just say
They want to be on
what
top.
feminists, and you also know it. We're all feminists. We all pretend we're not.
I'm
Feminism is feminism.
Islam is a
Listen,
feminist
let-
religion.
feminism is giving us equal rights. Nobody wants to sit up here and say that, oh, we're equal in the home. Everybody knows that. Feminists are not saying we're equal in the home. Feminists are saying that
rights is
give us equality, especially
rights.
when it comes to socioeconomic benefits. I get that. But let me the point I was trying to make. Let me make my point. The point is that Nigerian women go to work. They're not like our mothers back in the day.
Yeah.
They're working just as the man is working.
Who told you our mothers in the day did not?
I'm just giving you an example
We're going
based
to the
on
farm.
because she's telling me now based on her own story that she goes to Alagbado,
Yes.
go and go to her office. That is her own unique story. Thank God she lives on the mainland. Thank God her office is somewhere that can we live on mainland. Both of you are on the mainland. There are some women that they live their work is all the way in Ajah. Husband is somewhere in Ikeja. They don't have the same realities as you had. You mean like well somewhat convenient. So why would we say a story
wasn't
like,
convenient.
a story like this compels a woman like that to be told by which you always speak against that? Don't let us do a story where a man will not say your mate. Your mate is waking you up at 5:30.
Mariah, can I
I'm
step
almost
in?
done. I'm almost done. Your mate is here waking up at 4:30. You cannot wake up at 4:30. So you say let's not give men that ammunition to therefore be telling women who also are naturally challenged. They cannot do that.
Yeah, so
don't have the circumstances to do that.
First of all, let's break it down,
Please,
right?
please.
When it comes to love and relationship, you would do what you are inspired to do, not what another person is doing. I am a lover of the kitchen. I was pounding food as a beauty queen in the university. I had a mortar in my room. When people are reading for exams, I start reading really early. And so I pound food. Oh, there's no boy I did not pound for in the university. Even those I did not date, just to cook for you. It was something that gave me joy. And when I fell in love with my guy and we got into marriage. It was a way to express my love to him. Because he loved food. And he was prudent. He wasn't calculating, he wasn't buying food outside because it was, at the time, it was too expensive and it would not let us achieve some of the things we're already building. So I wanted to, I loved it. There was no morning I woke up grumbling to cook for him, God forbid. I loved it and I was doing it, right? Now, when you're saying feminists are not saying that in the home they are not equal. No, this conversation is a home conversation. And for feminists to be getting upset that a woman woke up in her house to cook for the husband, they are encroaching into the home. They must pick a side. So are we feminists in the home or are we feminists outside?
I grew up.
They must separate it, Nima. They don't separate these things.
Yes, so I practice a religion that is very feminist. People don't know it. Prior to Islam, when the Prophet came, women were slaves, the way Africans treat women. But Muslim women were dignified. They were given that pedestal. But are they equal? Still? No, not exactly. Mm-hmm. What it instilled in those women was the dignity of their human person. So that nobody is treated as a lesser being.
That's it.
But what you do in your privacy to cater, to express your love, to help each... My husband, when I'm going to work and my husband is on leave, he cleans my car. Yes, so... Is he my slave? It's his expression of love. If I put my clothes and I need to iron them, I just need to do a small like this, and they're ironed. Okay, if you twist that, some people those days they'll call you woman rapper, man. If they hear, they don't put it for bottle. She don't wash something, cook for you. Mm-hmm. You twist it now.
The reason I'm smiling is because we are talking with two sides of our mouth.
No.
Let me tell you why.
Do like this. Open mind and hear this conversation. I'm saying the conversation also exists when men express love to women a certain way. We are in a patriarchal society. Men are not supposed to cook for their wives.
Yes.
They're not supposed to have emotions. When the woman is in a period, when she's dying, look at her. You ask her for her head. We know men who exist like that. Nima, and that's where the feminist conversation is important.
Nima, leave feminism for a second, eh? Let me tackle you
Go
on what you've told me on this table.
Yes.
Okay.
You've told us, especially as a Muslim lady, that if you're coming from a certain level of wealth, and you marry a man, it is his duty to, in the minimum, maintain it. I, for example, I'm talking hypothetically speaking, I come from a home where I don't cook in my house. I'm Dangote, God bless you. I'm Dangote's daughter. I'm Dangote's daughter. I don't cook in my house. Now, I enter your house, we're now married, and you're now telling me because your colleague is bringing 2 spoons, that's your cooking. You must wake up at night to cook for me. I'll go on a break. And we come back, you respond. Stay with us.
I want to respond to you that started this.
And I start. I don't know why I would.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still discussing this Debbie, the cooking woman at 4 a.m. Nima, you're going to say something to respond to my question. Yeah.
Perfect example that you brought. So I marry an Otedola's daughter, and I take away, I help her to develop inferiority complex by saying to her, maybe women like you, they clean for. That is the abuse.
Yeah.
When I marry her, and I try as much as possible to give her that life and understand softness that she's used to, within my means is what I must provide for her, I still leave her with her dignity. But when she chooses, saying, I married down, I understand you don't have, and she made a choice to say, you will not leave my house without a flask of hot food. She made a choice. An individual, my emphasis is on is every human being's right to make a choice. Whether they belong to a group or not. I love to cater to my husband, and I'm a freaking feminist. The conversation switches when I think that I'm being disrespected immediately. This one, I don't owe you. Every adult to his own.
Yeah.
But when I choose to love him, when I feel appreciated, I give service in love.
Okay, meaning...
And that is a choice.
Okay.
But don't take me and tell your friend or your say I went to Zibiri's house. If you see what Nima does, three meals a day. She even they serve them upside down. Do you know what we are loving
Nima,
as?
I'll come to you, Beecee. Do you know some women take advantage of... So, I make a choice. I'm Otedola's daughter. I choose to wake up at 4 a.m. to cook for you because it was my choice. Yes. Now, somewhere down the line, we get into issues, happen, family, and I start telling family, I start telling everybody, I wake up at 4 a.m. in the morning. I now start throwing it on you because I was doing a choice before. Yes. But suddenly, for me, I'm using it now against you because I'm telling the world that you force, because now you're even used to it, going to work. So these are things that we start.
There's always abuse to every good thing. There's always the time.
You can't dodge it.
Even me, I go don't talk once in a while that I do everything for you. I must have. But when I sit down and in my reasonable capacity, I know when I'm abusing my spouse. And all of us can't be perfect. But this person chose and said, I love this person. From another person's hand. It's not insecurity.
Right, I'll come to Beecee in a second. Let me take Babajide. Good morning, Babajide. You're live. Thanks for calling. Hello, Babajide.
Good morning, Murray.
Good morning, sir. Go ahead. You're live.
Yes, your discussion is very interesting. I think the key thing here is what Nima is trying to emphasize. And that is the fact that was she forced to do it? You understand? That is the main thing. Was she forced to do it? If she had been forced, then abuse has come into it. And then these feminists and all whatnot can rise up and fight. But for a woman to decide that, look, I want to make my husband happy. Look, every home has its own peculiarity. If getting the man good breakfast when he desires it, we give her a peace of mind in her house. I don't see anything wrong in that.
All right.
As a man, I love cooking. And there are times when I just look at my wife and I say, look, man, you are tired. Let me go into the kitchen. And I will go into the kitchen. Does that make me a lesser man?
No.
So if the lady decides to wake up 4:15, even 3:15, to make her husband happy, there is absolutely nothing wrong.
Thank you, Babajide. Let me come to you, Beecee. Beecee, patriarchy in itself is overwhelming.
It is.
We are constantly fighting patriarchy. And in this fight, to even give women some level of is it decency or visibility or empowerment, we are now seeing another one of us cooking 4:30 a.m. in the morning. We're thinking, girl, we're trying to fight. This patriarchy is out there. We're trying to fight it. We're trying to force men to see us differently. We're trying to raise these boys differently. We're trying to let men see it differently. And you're not making it better by doing that. So my worry is not my worry is not the intention or the kindness of our heart or our service. Is that we have a bigger problem. We have a bigger fish to fry. There's an issue here that we're trying to resolve. You're giving these men ammunition, saying, hey, Shebi, you're one of you is cooking now. What's your problem? You're giving them ammunition.
So we cannot resolve the issue as a collective right now, where we are, right? If we want to resolve it as a collective, what we'll focus on is to build the self-respect and self-esteem of the women. Once you get that sorted, you don't have anything to tell anybody. They will know where the disrespect starts and when it ends, and they can cut it. I am someone who does not take any form of disrespect, but I cook, and I pound, and I massage, and I do everything that I want to do. But I know when the tone of voice changes that, brother, you know now, it's not me you can talk to like that, you know. And everybody just aligns themselves, right? Because I've gotten to a point where I love myself, and he sees me love myself, and he cannot do less. That's one. Secondly, when couples relocate abroad, and they start having this sort of issues, it's because they do not understand that the rules there are different. If you are married to a man who is wicked to you here, he's not going to be nice to you when you go abroad. If I travel now, for instance, I will not have those kind of issues because here that I am, my husband can change diaper. He will carry the baby almost all night when I'm nursing. He bathes the children. He takes them to school. He supports me in one way. There was a time we didn't have... Wait now. There was a time we didn't have help. There was no help in the house. Before I wake up in the morning, my husband has cleaned and mopped. And he doesn't... If you see him, he's an alpha male. But he knows when to aid and support from a place of love. So if I go abroad, I know I will not have issues of, I'm tired, I cannot wash plate, and somebody sitting there and say, you are a woman. He will do the dishes before I get there. No, hold on. Because this is who he is here. So when we go there, the rules will still apply because now we understand that two of us are working. Two of us have been working here, but then it's still easier. But there, two of us are working. I cannot come back tired and you expect me to go to the kitchen. You will assist me. He knows that. Not every man does that here.
Okay.
So that's the men we need to address.
My own example. My own husband is not a wicked man. He's a good man.
Yes.
But he will not start gas cooker. He doesn't... Ordinary water he has never bought in his life. Shoe he removes anyway. The other day, I think 100, some money came from his wallet, fell on the floor.
You didn't see it.
I kept watching that. When will this guy pick up this? He's right next to you. Are you waiting for somebody to come and pick? He will not pick it up. He picked about 2, 3. I didn't pick it up. 2, 3. They now call the kids in front of him. They say, could you pick up the there in front of him? You know? The point is that I know my husband. He's a fantastic guy. But this area has... So imagine me and him relocate. The man that cannot boil water in Lagos, that never will put his shoe in it. Do you think he will start looking for... He's in a new system. Yes. So the point...
What will you now do?
The point is...
When you travel abroad in such a situation, would you put him in a place where that is a standard of his measurement? You left this country knowing his weakness. My own husband can cook for everything, for his own family. But can he cook for me?
Will you complain when you travel?
So the point is that... So will you complain? Will I now, because of we are in a new country, I'll be waking up at 4:30? No, I will insist that this is how we have to start doing things.
Now, you cannot just insist like that. Why are you not insisting here?
I didn't have the help she has.
No, because I have help. I have help in here.
But I made it work. Both of us left. If I left him before me this morning, he bathed his son and put him back to sleep.
How did you do it?
That's how everybody will do practical things to make the homework. There will be no need for a party conversation. We don't need an assembly to settle this thing. Do what you can. I know what... I was still dozing off this morning. I didn't feel like waking up because I worked till late last night and he knew it. He did not bother to touch me. He just go and bathe his son and I packed the school bag. We do these things practically. I will not put my husband to a test of cooking.
If he does not do it, what will you now do?
Work. So
let me take this
I will not take him abroad and sell him now. He will chop freezer. I will freeze it.
Well, let me take this call from... Tokpa is calling from Kano. Thanks for calling. You're live.
You freeze it.
Hello, Tokpa, you're live. Hello?
I'm caller.
Yikes, go ahead, please. First time caller.
Welcome.
Okay, you see, it's a matter of cooking. I don't know. Maybe because I'm a Muslim, and I know Islamically, as a lady, it is part of your duty to cook for your husband. You have to. Yes, there are some moments or sometimes, probably maybe, as a Muslim girl now, I cook for my husband every day. He doesn't eat outside, I know, because of his health issue, he can't eat anywhere else except me cooking for him or something made at home. So I can't imagine now saying, okay, because I'm a lady, then I will not cook for him. There are some days I feel tired. He sees that I'm tired, so he doesn't ask me to cook. He finds something to eat, whether make something or he can eat food, so he eats food or eats something else. So I don't know. When you start making it an issue, cooking for your husband, there are some things they do for us too, out of love, out of service. So we shouldn't make it an issue, really.
Apart from even this act of love, act of service thing, I always talk practically. On Saturday, I needed to go out to work. And my husband knew the distance. I was going to take public transport if I cannot find taxi. And taxis what's it called? Ply our area. So you have to come out to town. And so he drove me all the way. He's my driver. On our way back, I was there thinking, no, when we get home, my maid would have helped me. And she had already absconded. He just said, Nima, before you find out whether your maid, I don't want to be hungry. We stopped at a buka.
And buy food.
We bought amala, to deep, everything Abula style. For every member of the family, including my sister-in-law visiting, nobody did discuss anything. Everybody has eaten. Practical life. As long as there's weight inside, there's no need to fight. And so whenever I got a finished housework, I made dinner. We're not arguing. Nobody is asking whether one person has been demeaned. Some men will now visit and say, she buys you food from outside. How dare she buy you? That's where the problem is, the people judging. Somebody will come. I remember my dad making food for us while we were growing up, but each time he made food, when my mom was not feeling fine, he would go back inside and be asking her, can you carry it? Till she goes and carries the tray inside to serve us because he must not be seen carrying pot inside.
At the time.
So some small things were the judging of people. My uncle corrected me once when I said, why did you wash your wife's on this? He said, the problem is not that I washed her on this, it's you who saw it. I want to go and expatiate what you do not know.
My worry or my issue is, let me use myself as an example. I've never been a kitchen person, and I think I've said it here, I've heard it before. But when I got married, because of societal pressure, I said, I have to cook for my husband. I'll be doing the kick. It was a chore for me, getting in the kitchen, and I was doing it. But eventually, luckily for me, my husband had to come and see me. I don't like that. It's not, you don't have to be the one to cook it. As long as there's food in the house. His love language is conversation. Yeah. Don't worry about it. On stay 20 hours. Just come up. After you come for work, just come upstairs. Let's gist. For him, when I heard that, I was like, hallelujah, thank somebody. Yeah, I got to help. Yeah, your job. So now, that is my own reality. My reality is not Debbie's reality. Now, unfortunately, men will see Debbie. Some will judge me that, you don't cook for your husband. Me, when I want to cook, I cook my own mede and he eats it. But when you want to call Niger food, I get people to do
your mother-in-law is in your
mother-in-law that is even very good in
Some people have problems that is the mother-in-law.
The point I was trying to make is that because of our patriarchy, we judge me and we judge Debbie. That how come she's not in the kitchen? We judge Debbie like, why is she in the kitchen so early? So how do you make a society that both myself and a Debbie can live without being judged on an extreme?
It's each home and its rules.
According to
but society makes us do what we
when we come to society, we can lash society. There was a conversation between myself and Tokwe once.
Society is me and you.
I used to be the one to service generator if my husband travels. So I didn't see it. I grew up in all girls home. We did a lot of masculine things growing up. So I thought, every girl should be able to pull the gen. And Topper was having a conversation about something. Somebody was saying about his wife not even being able to put on light until he gets back. I'm like, Kilo and Jen. And Topper tapped me immediately that, auntie, I've caused problem in that home. Because you can do it doesn't mean she can.
Exactly.
Everybody, their peculiar problem.
Exactly.
Immediately, I withdrew. Topper has corrected patriarchy. When we bring our feminist issues, let's address the general abuse. And they exist.
That's all.
Just as you're saying, it's still a major issue.
This act propels it. This kind of act propels it.
No, it does
Anybody who takes Debbie's story and says to his wife, you're not enough a woman. You are not a woman enough. You can't do at 4 a.m. That's the abuser. Those are the people you should be careful of.
And that's the abuser.
Any such woman who sees that man should know what to do.
The abuser
Nothing.
The person does not
but the one who says, I know, like I had senior sisters. I hated kitchen work. Yeah. Kitchen work in my house was like suffer. Because you will cook you are finishing breakfast, you're starting lunch.
Yeah.
The house was always full. But when I got married, I married someone who will say thank you. Because I have just made, as I just sweat. Don't be saying, you say, where's my food? Where's my food?
Let me take this call from Julius that comes to you, Beecee. Julius, thanks for calling. You're live. Oh, I'm sorry, I lost that call. Beecee, you wanted to jump in?
Yeah, so the wickedness I say is when a man marries you a certain way and expects you to be another way. You saw other babes who would pound. You did not marry them. You married a Morayo who does not pound. And then you want Morayo to be Beecee that used to pound. That's wickedness. And that is what we are fighting against. So, and I understand that everybody has their kind. I had a friend in the university who, at this side they cook, the girl they cook shege. There's nothing she does not cook. Or one starch, or bangao, who cook, as in they cook. She married a man who eats only noodles. Noodles. The last time I spoke to her, she said, Beecee, do you know I've lost all my cooking skills? Because this man will drag me out of the kitchen. Don't worry, I will not eat it. Just make noodles for me. Manage to make jollof rice for me. And their marriage is working. And the few times she had, her mother-in-law come in and everything, and she was complaining that the mother-in-law was like, it's okay, that's what he wants. Give him what he wants, and that's it. So we cannot judge other people by our own rules. That's where the problem is. Right. Let your rule be for you, and let another person's rule be for them. If this person is cooking and is working for her, as long as she's not being forced to do that cooking at a stressful hour, it's none of your business. Okay, and it doesn't mean you are better than her because you are not cooking. Everybody should just stay on their lane.
Okay, let me take Sukomi. Good morning, Sukomi. We're going to wrap up very soon. Let's take a few comments on social media as we wrap up. Sukomi, thanks for calling. You're live.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. There's a volume.
I'm actually delighted.
I can hardly hear you, Sukomi. Go ahead, please.
Yeah. Coming to this we are to do well. Most won't contribute, I won't get it.
Maybe the viewers can hear him. I can't hear him. Let me take a few comments. Ifeoma Ellen Saba Johnson said, good morning, Mo. Feminism is a principle by human beings. Feelings are peculiar to individuals. How my feeling is expressed is exclusive to my person. So feminism to you is different from feminism to me, is what you're saying.
So,
Okay, Nico.
the fact is that not all men are domesticated. Some men compliment their wives in different ways. We know patriarchy has made some men mean towards their spouses. But as you said, don't test your husband with what you already know he doesn't do abroad or back home.
But Nima, we've not discussed these people that are gifting land and stuff like that. I mean, because people felt that that's patriarchy getting excited. You know, because they're like, these men, NNPC giving her 200,000. People are giving her land. See, my own issue, as I said, is not about Debbie. And I'm happy it's her time, as we've said it. And listen, you're doing your choice. Yeah. Do you, girl. However, how patriarchy just came out like a lion. Give you land, give you... who else is giving her all the stuff? It's men.
The way feminists came out like lionesses.
But men are giving her...
No, listen now.
They're dashing her
The
stuff.
universe had to balance it. Yes. She did something and just posted it. And the lionesses of the feminists came out and they went after her. They needed to be a balance.
Had to come and
had to balance it up.
Okay.
Everybody collects.
Also, we women, because of a bit of education, when we talk about our mothers those days. My mom was a businesswoman. I was small, she did do firework, go Cotonou, bring her trade. And then when I was growing up, always busy, but she found a way to make home work. And that's where we learned how to make it work.
Yeah.
But the way we are going, the imbalance is extreme. Kids are suffering, you know, home is suffering. We don't know the roles that hold it. There's that very strong pillar role that you must play. Yeah. We don't downplay them. And the woman is saying, I want to hold home. And all of us are attacking without properly trying to understand.
On her methods.
People who have suffered the consequence of it are saying, let's restore.
On her methods.
I like that word, method, because everybody should choose your method.
Yeah, so some people hold the home with their waist.
Yes.
They don't cook nothing. Their husband does not want cooking. Just lie down there, set position. Today is Monday.
So that is your... So everybody with their method.
Yes,
thank you. I like that word.
Don't judge
Use your own method.
Use your own.
To do your own. Let me take this call.
Some of us combine both.
Falashade from the UK. Obiaju will not keep me today. It's Monday. Morning, you're live. Falashade, you're there?
Morning.
Good morning. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, please. I want to speak Yoruba. Share,
Go ahead, please. Express yourself. It's your view. Let it count. Nima will interpret.
Hello?
Go ahead. Nima will interpret. Go ahead.
Yeah, me... Nigeria anymore, but my husband brought me to UK.
Okay.
Me at your mommy. So, upon me journey to never. So, but she dey UK, Mama, my duty is to cook for him. Eh? Even Mama lost to be of 5, ma kuro me, me madeni 8 o'clock. So come back day sile before me, nirole ko ni shonje. Mama dúró dè mí kí n wá ṣoúnjẹ fún òun ní 8 o'clock yẹn. So mo máa ṣoúnjẹ fún. But nígbà míì ó máa help me o gbọ́. Maybe once ẹ̀kọ̀ọ̀kan ni máa ṣe oúnjẹ tí gbogbo wa máa jẹ lálẹ́. You understand?
Are you happy about that, Folashade?
No.
Are you happy about that?
Ó ti mọ́ mi lára. Mo fẹ́ kó jẹ́ pé káwọn èèyàn máa sọ pé ó ti dé ìlú òyìnbó.
She's doing it reluctantly.
You understand?
It's no longer easy.
It's no longer easy. Thank you, Folashade. I'll let Nima respond.
So Folashade's story is that when they were here, her husband would never eat out, and so she always made his food. Okay. He went to the UK and brought her and her child, and he still has that nature of not eating. Outside. And so her business is to make it ready and make it happen.
She goes to work at 5 a.m. in the morning?
She does his meals, and if he comes home, he waits till she comes back at 8 a.m. to eat his dinner.
Yeah.
And she does it. Once in a while, he does cook, but he doesn't cook as regularly. And she doesn't want a situation... Okay, you asked her that, is she happy with it? She said she doesn't want people to say it's when she got to the UK that she changed. Obviously, she's tired.
She's tired.
You know, the proper thing is that she's able to have the conversation with her husband. I used to do it. 4:30,
her husband will reference Debbie.
Wait now. I used to do 3:30, 4:30, try to get my husband's breakfast every day. And then one time he asked me, because I was done, I was really tired. Thankfully, I wasn't driving then. He was driving me. And I slept till I almost passed. I got to his office and I was sleeping. He just kept looking at me and said, you need to stop the early morning. So now, I wake up when it's more practical and I sleep as practical as he cancelled it. She should be able to have the conversation. She's
If he insists that Debbie got land, he got 2.5 million naira because she...
Who is it to insist? Is it God?
No,
that's the point.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
No.
It's a reference point. So she, Folashade, has no right to say she can't cook at 8 p.m. for her husband because Debbie has done it for 5 a.m. in the morning.
There are women who it is practical for. For instance, I have relatives who don't do anything. All they do is cater to husband. They are richer than I am. I'm working 24/7. Who send me message? These women are on Hajj every year, Umrah every year. I just have one small pain. I want to go to the house of God. I want to go to Kaaba. Those are my relatives. All they do is buy gold. They don't have another work. They get money past me. And such a woman too will sit down, come and join feminism and say she will not cook for husband. Which work they do? All our business is to manage the home, and the husband knows better to do it. If the economics is not the same, you cannot overwork one party in a marriage and kill that party because your mother cooked.
But she said it's her duty. The lady just said, she doesn't want society, wait now, doesn't want society to say, is it because you now go to the UK, you now don't cook for your husband? Because that's society, that's pressure.
But she has not said, I had a conversation and my husband said, never, who born you? She didn't say that.
Imagine she had a conversation.
So first of all,
she didn't say that.
Before the conversation, I expect that when you are in love with somebody, you would empathize most of the time.
Now.
You would step in when there's a form of weakness. Even, yes, no, hold on.
Perfect relationship.
No, there are human beings that are striving towards, no, hold on now. No.
We must pray for them.
We must pray for them.
They must have good husbands.
They were not like that before. Some of them had to learn. Because we kept praying for them and we kept hoping and we kept showing them that this is the way to go.
And
so it's common sense that you see the weakness, what this woman is going through, and you relieve her on some days. It's simple. It's just wickedness when you stay where you are. And I'm mentioning this wickedness because I'm deliberate about the word I'm using. You stay where you are and feel it's my duty. You do your duty, I do my duty. And just sit there and close your eyes. No, we must be flexible in our relationships.
Olupalumi has holding for a minute. I'll come back to you, Beecee. Olupalumi, thanks for calling. You're live.
Yes, thank you very much.
Go ahead,
Good
please.
Morning.
Morning.
Don't you keep me wait. Thank you so much. It's nice talking to you. I mean, this is my first time calling.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. So this is it. There was this time when I had this girlfriend, like she can cook, like she cook for me always, yeah, and even try to help me wash my clothes. So sometimes I wash her, right, which is okay. But because of the state of ambition, like she doesn't want to do anything much more, and I feel like I need somebody more than what she's doing in my space. And at the end of the day, we broke up. Now the person I am dating right now will not even do she won't even do anything of such. So I'm okay with it. But at the end of the day, I kind of miss this person I used to be with because of what she does and every other thing. She is homely, no doubt. But at the end of the day, I am now with somebody who will not even want to do anything of such. Now, I am forced to always want to still talk back to the ex, how are you doing and the like, and it's kind of, it is well.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Olupalumi.
Yeah, so let me, where were we? Where was I? So, I was talking about the fact that you must be flexible. And this is not just for a marital relationship. Also, when you're working with other people, you must understand, you must read the room. No, but it's not till we have a conversation for you to know that I am dying. I'm crumbling under this stress that you're putting me through. And I'm still holding on to doing it because I don't want people to talk. And that's also weakness on my part. Because self-love helps you understand where you are weak and helps you say no to the things you can no longer do or the things you need a break from. So she, in herself, has a form of weakness that she needs to deal with. If she wakes up today and says, I'm so tired, I can't even, no be fight, I can't even move, my legs, I can't even cook. What will happen that day? But she doesn't, no, hold on. She doesn't want that. She's hoping that one day the man will just look at her and say, okay, don't worry, don't do it. Now you're saying that the man is not thinking in that direction. You have to do it for yourself.
It's comfortable.
The society I don't want the society to talk, is comprised of human beings, you and I. So why are you listening to what other people will say? Why are you referencing what other people are doing to make your own life? Why?
Let me go on a short break. And you come back, we'll wrap up on this segment so we can go to the next segment. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're going to be wrapping up on this. Let's take a few messages so that we can wrap up.
Odunayo says, well said, kids suffer the consequence of their parents' choices, either negative or positive. Someone was asking a question earlier, I didn't want to take it, that if it was your child, would it be different? Would you not cook for your child? And that's always been my view to it.
Go buy food
If I have to cook for my child, my husband will eat.
Yeah.
Practical. There's not like I will cook small for the children and tell him, go and find your food. If the children are eating together, sadly, I don't have that kind of family anymore. Everybody wants to eat something different every morning. They cannot come and run me mad. So we find what works. And every other person that is an adult worries about themselves. But practice is not a disrespect. I will not be saying to him, I beg, I cannot deal. I beg go. Your kids have eaten something and
Okay.
I'm not eating.
Let me
So
take
make
Timitokwe from Ogba. Thanks for calling, Timitokwe. Ota.
Hello, good morning.
Morning, you're live. Go ahead.
Yeah. Actually, I love this is my first time of calling.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I love the topic because I've been seeing it trending online for a while now. And fortunately, my husband is at home this morning. So it was like, we're arguing about it. And it was like, we are throwing our culture away. That, why is it that when it comes to women to cook and to do some chores, we try to like shed it away that, I'm tired, I can't do this, I can't do that. Why are we not always concerned about men too? Now, why is it comfortable for men to pay school fees, to pay house rent and all of that? That if you are trying to copy outside, like UK culture or British culture and all that, then there's no need for men paying bride price anymore. That there's no need for them paying bride price. Let's share the duties. If we are trying to like say women cannot do this, women cannot do that. I was like, it is not convenient for me to do. I won't do it. But if it's something that I see that because people shouldn't talk, I don't want people to talk, and I'm doing it, it's not convenient for me.
Yeah.
He now said, no, we shouldn't do it that way. We should try to make sure our culture, we follow our culture, because in the next 5-10 years, our children will know what we mean by a car or anything like that anymore.
Right. Yeah. Thank you very much. I was going to give an example, in my house. This conversation is also probably even helping me a bit because I think I've taken advantage of my husband. So my husband is from Ekiti, many of you know that. And, the pounded yam is their food. But because, he's married to me and I try to have a schedule, this is what we do on Mondays, Tuesdays, so I have the timetable. So we don't do, not unusual food, pounded yam is not really featured in my
like
timetable.
regularly.
It's not regular, maybe once a month or something. Although grandma doesn't allow that, but grandma will make sure that she eats her own pounded yam. Either way. So weekends is jollof rice, fried rice, and we make it. So recently, I think about 2 weekends ago, he went to one of my neighbor's house. Now I made correct pounded yam with egusi soup. I always warn him. Sundays, we're all slaving in the kitchen. When you come in, come and eat. After all the jollof rice and the cutting of the pepper, come on, man, you have to eat. That day, he stopped by there. They gave him correct pounded yam. The wife was not very gracious to send my own. So she said this to me. But I could tell that he loved it. He relished. He relished. He kept talking about it. In my mind, I'm like, hey, honey, I'm not doing no pounded yam because don't even think about it because so last weekend I said, okay, let me just try, let me see. And just do it. But the point is, let's not put pressure on women because I was, if I was Debbie now, should have read that situation. You can go and buy motor, start pounding. Hey, they're eating that. I'm just saying, like, just allow us be on our lane.
For instance, if someone else says, oh, Debbie does it, you must do it. That's a problem.
That's a problem.
But you too, if you not say, Mr. Brown, never you go to that neighbor's house.
That's another problem.
Another problem.
No, that neighbor. No, I'm happy she make it. I'm happy that. In fact,
like me. She sent you.
I greeted her. Thank you. When next I do it, let us know so that we won't even bother stressing ourselves in the kitchen.
Just come.
We'll just come because I can't keep myself.
This situation happened in my own home, and it's a relative. who says, this food that Nima says she's too tired to make for you, don't worry, I'll make it every weekend. Relative, and then they will not send me anything.
Yes, so me,
And my husband will now go
you.
there. He will now go there, eat it. I will be like, I'll eat your own later. I'll be like, okay, no problem. Happened 3 weeks back. So one morning I woke up, go there. He says, are you serious?
There.
I said, you want to shout? Let's shout. I don't have shame. Let's shout. You go there now. Say, I said, go there. And you people should eat it.
Yes.
And you people should not send. But they say, that's all you best. I said, I happy.
Let me take Alima's call. Good morning, Alima. Thanks for calling.
Good uncle, your husband.
Good morning, Mario.
Go ahead, please.
Good morning.
First time caller.
Welcome to the show. You have a lot of first-time callers today.
This is so topic.
Okay, about the ladies' issue, I didn't really follow it was when the gift started coming in that I heard about it. There's nothing bad in somebody waking up at 4:50 to cook for her husband. Who would do that if she doesn't? Maybe the husband has to leave the house very early. A lot of women, myself inclusive, I used to wake up at 4 o'clock because I have to be at work by 7:30. I wouldn't want my husband to get to work and go and be eating outside. And then I remember reading that she had to start cooking for the husband because a colleague, brought food and brought 2 spoons, invited the husband to come over and join. I wouldn't want that to happen to my husband. So I don't know why. I don't know. They used to say Obirin, Lota Obirin. I don't know why women were just going on and on about it. Like it's a big deal.
Thank you,
You have to
Alima.
do it. Who was doing it if she doesn't?
Alima just reminded me of an important point, Beecee. Why are we threatened when our husband at work, somebody is giving her food, brings 2 spoons? Is that not to help your situation? At least somebody is giving, bringing 2
There's a line
spoons.
to that disrespect.
I'm not handicapped.
There's a line of disrespect. If, for instance,
Don't help you.
you know, this woman has, we'd not add this part, they're indigent. He's a teacher. His salary is not something that can give them that life that she would love. That was the story itself. And so she was like, but she would do it and cover her home. Now, the man cannot go to work. He can't afford to eat. He cannot. The one that
Why can't he buy his own food,
Well,
Nima?
listen,
This man,
story. This
okay.
You may not have money to buy
If this is their salary, they will use it all to buy food in the house.
I know now.
There's food in the house, but she can't cook it. So he will get to work hungry and managing his pockets. He will not beg for food, but somebody will notice and say, okay, I've brought one to be eating with me. That's his disrespect. That's the arifi. It will happen at some point.
Finish.
You see finish. It's going to happen at some point. But you as a woman now say, okay, based on your 50,000 naira, I bought food at
cover your
home.
shame.
I will cook small food for you to be eating. So that in the afternoon or breakfast, you won't be looking out. This morning, my husband took breakfast to work. It's not every day. It's the day that is convenient. The days that is not convenient, he's not supposed to eat from anybody's cooler. He's going to go and buy his food.
So this teacher should have got to go and buy
Because
food.
he can afford to buy his food.
How, what makes you
The
think-
man cannot-
planning.
this
What
story-
makes you think
follow
the
story
teacher-
well.
okay.
Follow the story where he could not afford to buy food. That was the story.
Yes, it helps for planning. So even though at that time when we started, we could afford to buy some. How much did they say the food that
Uh-uh,
not they
we
pass
put
500.
plenty, yeah.
But my husband saw it as a waste of money if he buys the food every day. So, and we already have stocked up for the month. So it's easier that I cook. And aside from that, he also preferred to eat my meals. It's easier I cook and he takes it there. And so we can, all those excess money that goes away, they look like 1 kobo here, 2 kobo here. If you pull them together, if you know what you can do with them, and that's what helped us to move as fast as we did, because all those chop, throw away. Now I can cross my leg and other caterers to cook for me without sweat.
But this,
because I paid my price.
This teacher, if for whatever reason he relocates to Canada tomorrow, this teacher will wake up at 4 o'clock and cook his own food. Though.
Yes, he will.
Do you know that he will wake up and cook his own food because he's in a country where the wife too has to, maybe she's studying London nursing, for example, and she's doing one job overnight. 4 a.m. she's just coming herself. So we must accept the fact that it's because of our reality here.
Yes, and that's where the flexibility comes in. We have also seen people who go there and refuse to wake up and cook their own food and complaining that the marriage has to be dissolved because the wife has changed. So that's also another reality. But I wanted to, just give a little example. So in my loving to cook, I told you people that I cook from the hospital. After giving birth, I go home the next day and I'm in the kitchen. I cook for all my namings.
You see, you're an influencer.
No, hold on.
Say that, people,
I'm just
because that is, giving you more men ammunition.
Please, I'm not giving any man admonition. Don't you use my life to judge your own. Just listen to the story. Follow it from the beginning to the end. Please, you need comprehension in this one. So I cook at will. When I'm doing naming and everything, it's me that will cook. When I wanted to stop, after my 3rd baby, body no can be the same now. I wasn't feeling too strong. And I told my husband, we have to get a caterer for this naming ceremony. he didn't find it funny. He was already used to me cooking everything. Even when his cousins and everybody's doing something, they will call me to their house to come and cook. They won't pay me. He was used to it. It was a battle I had to fight. I insisted that I cannot cook. I do not have the energy to cook. We are going to get a caterer. I insisted. He frowned his face. We talked about it, blah, 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 blah. But it happened. And I broke that jinx. I broke the jinx because my body wasn't carrying it anymore. And he finally saw reasons with me, right? And today I can choose to cook or not choose to cook. So we must get to a point where we're ready to fight some kind of fight for the betterment of our marriage. Fighting does not mean carry your bag and be going. Fighting means that, baby, you open your eyes and see that this is no longer working for me. Do you want me to age before my years? Do you want me to be looking older than you in the next 10 or 20? Reason it now. I can't do this anymore. We must be ready to fight that fight.
So, Kami, thanks for calling. You're live.
Yeah, good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
And a full-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, what I want to say is this femininity you are discussing, I didn't see it as femininity. I see it as equality.
As what?
Equality. You guys are discussing equality.
Yes.
You want equality.
Equality, okay.
That is what, and this is causing a lot of havoc in our society. Especially come to parenting and raising children and so on. Our children are learning. They want to, this Western idea and stuff is really creating a lot. But the friend came in, I didn't hear about the story, a friend saw it on media, and he came in yesterday. He was celebrating that lady. He was talking as if, many men were celebrating her. Why? Why do you think they are celebrating her? Why do you think they were, men were so much when they... It's just because that we are not enjoying that. You should see it from that angle. Men are...
Thank you very much.
I'm not among the men that are celebrating her for their patriarchy, excuses and all of that. My hands are up. I want me to
But that's all I wanted to
say. I wanted to emphasize the hardship in her home. They are of small means. I have a friend in such a place. They are of small means. They manage what they have. And in managing, one of the things she could do to make it easier was cook the food. And she had to do that. And she had another hardship, which she now tweeted that if she could have gotten this as a gift, it will make it easier to run her home. She did not come to beg all those patriarchal men who want to establish slavery on their wives.
Yes.
That's not what she came to do. When the people lashed her, they then gained her that exposure of people who wanted to do that. But the line is that her husband, in managing with her, not eating at home, might stay hungry. See, whenever he comes home. Yeah. She did not do it because she was his slave or that my mother did it. Those people who have that, my mother used to keep quiet when my daddy is talking, example, and down. But they did not talk about how their mother could not think for herself or how their mothers could not
say no.
or their mother were not strong.
Which takes me to the point where Beecee said earlier, fight that fight. It's not every woman that can fight that fight. We're grateful on this table that we have men who are reasonable. But the truth that a lot of men in Nigerian men, who a woman who's married to, not that he doesn't love her, he loves her, cares for her, but the culture
Which kind of love with that?
No. I don't even understand. The culture and way he was raised is such that you are subjected to me, you are subservient to me, and it's not because I hate you, but whether you have no right to bring certain things to me. There are women, we've had women who have told us in this show, where they cannot confront their husband with issues. They say communication. So women say, I can't communicate, he doesn't listen to me. And it's still a marriage, which I am willing to, I don't want to use the word endure. I'm going to compromise. So I have my own husband is not like a Mariah's husband. My own husband is not like a business husband we can have a conversation. He's a husband where, listen, he doesn't listen. So this fight or fight, I will have to do whatever he says I should do, so just to keep my home and my 4 children.
You stand the risk of a 360 change. So that's when you hear, is when we reach abroad that she changed. I know marriages that carry their cultures from here to abroad and they made it and raised their kids. And you see their own video, they'll be doing husband and wife wedding. Baba Yoko, they'll be complete. But we live here, not listening to each other. Yeah. That's when we get there, there's a 360 change. It's not there for me.
Yes.
And then she switches on you that you must learn this thing by force. Why would you be married to a woman and she'll be tired and she won't be able to say it?
Can't communicate. You
and she'll have
but you hear your boss in the office so they don't sack you.
Now from my sole of my feet at the hammer, my husband knows the meaning. I will drag. But when my son is crying, that's the funny part. To be asking my son, my son will be like, Mommy, you need to rest. Okay, maybe you should close your eyes for a bit. I'll come back. And then have you rested well? If you've rested well, just get up and make my food. That's my son. He's freaking 7-year-old. The dad will be like, Mommy's tired. I need to get something to eat. And he gets something to eat. Two different situations. But a mother's instinct will get up and serve my son. Yeah. And then I have a problem with serving
chop bread, though.
You know now.
All right, we have to wrap up. I think,
in
a nutshell, as ladies have said, it's her time. God just uses opportunity to bless her, increase her. People have differences. You choose the method that works for you. We don't expect that men or patriarchy uses this as an ammunition to subject their women to do things that they've not agreed it's okay. So in some homes, you can wake up at 4 a.m., 3 a.m. It's okay. Use your own choice of service. It's fine. But those of you that don't do that, doesn't mean that what you do is wrong or is inadequate. But as long as both of you have agreed, and it's something that no matter which part of the world you live in, both of you can adjust. Yeah. It's fine. That's all we can take on this segment. When we come back, we'll take our next topic. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. Our next topic is about the indiscipline in the Nigerian army following the arrest or apprehension of some Okada riders on the expressway by Governor Sanwo-Olu, one of which was a soldier. He was telling the governor that he's a soldier. And he said that's the more reason why you should be arrested, because you're breaking the law. Of course, the commissioner for, I think, information and strategy, a few days after told us that he was later released and let go. However, his colleagues in the military have been sending out videos, obviously insulting our governor, saying all sorts, and this has generated quite a bit of comments on social media. What are your thoughts on this? Some have said that it's taken Nigerian army quite a bit of time to respond to this. They've not really officially come out to say anything. What are your thoughts on all the videos going around insulting His Excellency, the Governor of Lagos State, and various videos going around? What are your thoughts? You can call us on the numbers on your screen: 081-0764-1641, 0902-4163-440. You can also tweet to us at TVC Entertainment using hashtag YourViewTVC. Okay, Nima, I want to start.
My first belief is that the people doing these videos are not soldiers. The military is such I don't want to use dignity again. Sophisticated, organized institution that they will have 1-2 of them do this. So you can have a cadet, somebody in the enemy, somebody in school, and do video and be talking about this. But you cannot have someone within the military do this to a governor. No. Not even to the president. They will not, and they know the rules. So I think these are just cloud chasers across social media platforms. But then again, there's an important issue of breaking of law, abuse of system that our people are already used to. In those days when we were under the military could do a one-way against an ambulance and nothing would happen. It was believed that whoever is the officer there is more superior to the person in an emergency. And so we had these excesses. Now, the military don't do that all the time, but you see some officers still abuse the law. I said it on this table, how I see what they do from the Ojo cantonment sometimes. Also, this situation was a specific abuse of law, and the individual in question only mentioned he was a soldier. He was not in the soldier uniform. He had no look of a soldier, enough for it to be a disrespect to any soldier. It did not in any way show he was one of the of our
eventually, I think the commissioner eventually confirmed that he was indeed. I think we got a call. Yes,
he didn't say he was. They didn't say they saw an ID card or anything on him, and he wasn't in the military uniform. We saw the individual. Yeah. I felt it was abuse, insulting the governor. He was saying to you, I will arrest you. Go and call your father. And he said, I'm a soldier, Oga. That's street language for disrespect. Had no way in this world that you could talk to a governor in that manner, an elected office holder. This person you come to for your needs. So leave that one as it is. That person was abusive of the law. But the videos you see around, of course, Nigerians like to jump on issues. If all these ones, now, if you try it within the military, they don't get face. They don't have barracks. They don't have platoon. They don't have anything. They have not been assigned anywhere.
Yeah. Well,
I know someone in up north right now, I don't want to mention where he was posted, who's not happy about how he's being treated, but has he made a video against the governor? No, he did not.
All right, let me Beecee, come to you.
I think this is just gross indiscipline. The soldiers, as we know them to be, back in the day, were very respectful. They understood hierarchy, and they would not just carry themselves anyhow, you know. And this is also the sanity that we're trying to bring into the system, where Nigerians can begin to understand and respect their respective offices and their uniforms just because of the way they carry themselves. So this is not even, is not acceptable at all. And aside from, you know, the governor probably doing something about it, their heads should also call them to order, and they should have some form of punishment. Because this is not the image you want to portray of our soldiers. Something happens, one of you commits a crime, and that person is being chastised for the crime, and are you now saying that what the person did is right?
They're above the law.
Or you are above the law. And for so many years, you know, we've seen people in uniform feel like they are above the law, and nobody goes away with any form of consequences. So we must begin to insist that whether you are, the rule of law covers everybody, whether you're in uniform or not in uniform. If you are caught committing a crime, you must be punished, and you must understand what you have done so that it doesn't repeat itself again. And we must hold, when you hold certain offices, you must carry it with a form of respect. So those young boys, they also may be, like you said, they may not be soldiers, they also may be soldiers, but then they need to understand what they are doing. Also, we need to start asking questions concerning their training. What sort of training, especially for the people who are coming in? Because if you talk to most of these officers who already have some form of position, they sound different. They act different. They carry themselves differently. But it's those small ones on the streets who have no,
absolutely correct.
Status, so to speak, are the ones that just throw their hands anyhow, do things anyhow. What sort of training do they have? What sort of psych evaluation do they have? For you to have that sort of uniform, you must be evaluated. We must be sure that you are okay. You cannot be not okay handling people on the streets, because anything can happen. That's why we have mistakes up and down. Yeah. You must be okay. So we need to invest in their training and their psych evaluation.
Even this ex-user mobilizing Nigerians is suggesting that the man, especially the older man in the video, is not a Nigerian military officer, that they found that is a TikTok content creator that stays in the US. So obviously got a military uniform, got a hat, and he's not pretending. So it goes back to what happened that this guy. It goes what happens in the...
Imagine a military wearing blue on top of blue.
Netizens, or what they call it, netizens, they call them. Netizens is a whole new world out there. It's a whole new world because they have their own rules. They celebrate who they choose to celebrate. They mock who they choose to mock. They criticize who they choose to criticize. And they destroy. We've seen stories about Gislova, all sorts of things happening online. But it's a new world out there, and there has to be a way for us to regulate this somewhat. True. Because what these two young, let's just say that these two young ones, the first two, the man, let's give it a benefit that maybe he's not a true soldier. But the first two, obviously, looks like they are here in Nigeria. And they used some words that went viral. The other one that said that you use military for your dirty work. And now somebody extrapolated that, tweeted this, and now tried to give it life. So now start saying, what dirty business is he talking about? What the government, and these are the kind of things that's how things start. Yeah. And we have to find a way to nip in the bud. So my question goes to, how do we, these are international platforms, what do we do to control these kinds of things from catching fire? Because you just remove that kind of word, give it life, and then something happens. Before you know it, we're talking about unrest. Yeah.
So the business of regulating social media is not a day's job. It's not something we'll do overnight. But can we start to do some things that will make us question what a person says? So, for instance, why would the military be part of the security detail of anybody in this country? You see soldiers, security details of celebrities. Why? Soldiers used to be within the barracks or outside the defense geographical map of a country. Yeah. Now soldiers are everywhere. Soldiers, they control traffic for Alakija. I don't get it. In the military uniform. It used to be yellow fever when I was small in Williams Ojolegba dead. Now I don't know how we cross. So the abuses are across board. We cannot even wash our hands, and it will always be dirty.
And just like Beecee said, because I have had the opportunity to interface with the military men, and they are totally different from
so
different.
I went to command. I went to school within the barracks. It was such a sophisticated, respectable affair. Yeah. If the soldiers were the lowest I've ever seen them is within the barracks doing their gardening. All of them had a farm where they, as alternative means of earning a livelihood. But you will never see a soldier man in a bus. Now, you see soldier man in a bus wear a cap because you want to... we've so dignified every profession. The abuses are cross-board. When I used to go to school, everybody in my set as a boy wanted to join the military. It was the respect. Yeah. Now, the abuses are just everywhere in our faces.
Let me take a line with from the UK. Good morning, you're live. Thanks for calling.
Good morning, Uriah. Hello?
Yes, good morning, you're live.
Okay. I saw the video from the beginning when the governor arrested those guys on the bike. I support what governor did, right? But what I don't like, what he said to the guy, when the guy said, I'm a soldier, Oga, and by saying Oga, that's what we military, because I was in the Navy over 30 years ago. But we call the boss Oga. It's nothing bad calling governor that Oga. That's nothing bad.
Raju, your UK network is bad. So sorry, can't hear you.
I completely disagree. I schooled in the barracks 1993 to 1999. No soldier addresses his Oga as Oga. Maybe in the local language. Sir, yes, sir.
Yes.
That's the language. If he was talking to the governor, I am a soldier man, sir, to show the respect. And there's always superiority. They will say, obey before complain. There's hierarchy.
Yeah.
You don't talk back at the governor, Oga. That's what we in the street will say, Oga Benny. It's street thing. Mm-hmm. I felt insulted when I heard him say, I'm a soldier, Oga, like I'm untouchable, Oga. Mm-hmm. And because you're a soldier, it's only when you're in your uniform, you have special privileges. You're in your mufti, and you still wanted that privileges to the extent you talk back at a governor and you want to insult him. That person wasn't a soldier, number one, for me. I would like to see
the Nigerian military.
And if it was, the disciplinary measures within the military...
He was a soldier. We're told he was a soldier. He
should be court-martialed.
Yeah. Yes, we're told he was a soldier.
He should be court-martialed.
I think consequences, like we always say here, where there are no consequences, people will take everything as everything goes. Like there will be impunity because nobody will be holding anybody responsible, accountable for anything. People will just misbehave and then nothing will happen. We're not a jungle. It's not a jungle. So we must put systems in place to punishment to deter. And according to what you have done, there should be different categories of the punishment that you receive. So if, when that's the guest we had who explained what had happened and said that they spoke about it, some of the officials spoke about it and they released the soldier to them. I was weak. I felt a certain type of way. He should have had a form of punishment.
It's not within the jurisdiction of the
civilian. Soldier in service cannot be punished. You can't even try in a normal court. So they have a court system for soldiers and it has equal jurisdiction.
So, but if there was a punishment going on, for instance, do you think these other people will have the temerity to come out and do these videos?
Because nobody details what happens at a court martial. Nobody, it's not a public court. It's not something you see. When the court martial is happening, it's within the military. It's always covered.
But these people that came out were within the military.
It's always done with discretion. Each example, at the end of that trial, the consequence can then be made public to deter. But for now, they don't know what he's going through. If he's
even going to do anything.
Thanks for calling your live.
He was locked in a guard room and released.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Can't hear you. Good morning, sir. The network is bad today. So sorry. Let's take a few comments on social media on this.
He says Nigerians are hard to please. If that man wasn't arrested, it's the citizens that will still come for him and say the governor is enabling impunity. Soldier or not, he's not above the law, and he was impolite. But I didn't hear the Oga part. Well, I heard that well. Someone tweeted at the Nigerian Army, you guys used to know that the Nigerian Army headquarters you guys used to know has changed. the Gen Zs are now in the army and they are indeed misbehaving. Let me also say the governor shouldn't have used the word useless on a soldier. The lower ranks are now using the wolf pack mentality.
This is not something that was scripted or planned. This is somebody coming down, seeing as initial reaction. We all react in different ways. We see something that happens, especially when they according to him, just fixed the road. You know, he was upset.
President used to insult people now. Governors
everybody, so it's not about. So yes, useless. Yeah, but you see, at that moment, you cannot really pre-think what you want to say properly. How are you going to say it?
But you should have governor. If it was, you should have your thoughts together anytime. When Governor Oshomole was governor, and he said to a woman who the road he had done, he said no trading, and the woman was trading there, and he said go and die.
Yes, I remember.
As a governor, you must always be in the right senses and know exactly what you're saying. If useless is inappropriate, it's the governor who should set the example. Leadership must set the example down.
So it's useless inappropriate now because I'm lost.
Is it useless?
Well,
it's a soldier.
You cannot define. You know, at that moment, you didn't know it was a soldier. At that moment, when
he said I'm a soldier, and that was when the useless came in. Response. And he shouldn't have
been useful at the time he was called useless. No. Let's look at the semantics of it. Was he useful at the time he was called?
Inappropriate is not supposed to be used to address a soldier. Whether he's acting...
For me, it's an after...
The governor could have found another word.
That's an afterthought for me. It's an afterthought. It's an afterthought because when you're upset with somebody, there's something you say.
How we use words in Nigeria.
You don't even think.
Saying before you realize.
You don't realize that the word...
But a lot of times when we do it, and when you're called, it's not a debate. What you have done is wrong. When you need to be corrected...
But useless, I don't know how bad that word is.
So to be a governor now...
One check dictionary for how
bad... Wait, I want to check something straight. You have to check everything you say before you say it. Some people can never be governor, be that.
Oh, yeah, of course. It's hard being the governor.
This is like royalty. It's a training for it. There are ways you prepare for that office. But because when you come into that office,
you must carry yourself a certain way. Yes, wow. Wow.
So you cannot...
Okay, we have to wrap up on the show. I think that is all you can take. But generally, the truth is that it would be great to hear from the Nigerian military, their official response to this, see what's going to be done. To these two gentlemen especially, it would be great for them. You have a comment? Yeah. Go ahead, please.
Oduayo says, shameful, disgusting, eyesore, that's what it is. Just like you said, these guys are cloud chasers. Holding them accountable for everything they do. And that is why they harass citizens wearing camouflage attires. Yeah. They should be in the barracks and not on the street.
Okay, so also, I think all of us need to have some kind of guideline on what we take from social media. Yeah. Because people start a narrative. Somebody just sent me a message now of a video, two sides of Governor Sanwo-Olu, or that's the arrest of soldier in the morning, and later they took one way. Sanwo-Olu never take a one way. So whoever put this narrative out there is a joker. And that's the truth. Because this world called social media, I can put a video and find something and then post it, put a narrative. You now focus on the narrative. And you're thinking, okay, who is the person behind this thing? So we as Nigerian citizens, we need to start wearing a third cap in our head to understand and see things differently. When somebody sends you a message, especially on WhatsApp, it's not always true. Somebody created that angle and is trying to push a narrative. We should see things differently all the time. It's not every caption that is accurate. It's not every video that is accurate. We must know for ourselves first before we start sharing comments on social media. That's all we can take on today's show. We know that the Better Edu story is quite hot. We didn't take it in the paper review because we wanted it to brew a bit, but we'll touch on it tomorrow because it's an interesting story going on. But let's give it a few days and we'll take it tomorrow. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.